Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Temi, a software engineer working in London. At the end of last year, I was doing back-to-back interviews before I landed my recent role. Doing these interviews made me realize that it's really important to ask questions during your interview. So in this video, I'll be talking about some questions you should and shouldn't ask whilst doing your software engineering interview. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also like this video to see more content from me. So you may be thinking, why do I need to ask questions during an interview? Why is it even important? And I'll tell you why. The main reason is that it emphasizes your interest in the role and the company to the employer. It also gives you a chance to further elaborate your skills and your experience. It's basically just a good way to flex your skills. Unfortunately, if you don't have any questions to ask during or at the end of an interview, it could come off to the interviewer that you're not interested in the role, or you just simply haven't done your research about the company or the role that you're applying for. So there are different kinds of questions that you could ask. The first question you could ask is, who are the members of the team that I would potentially be working with? This will help you get a better idea of how the company is structured and the team dynamic or working methods, such as agile or waterfall ways of working. You could ask a follow-up question such as, what does a typical day in this role look like? Asking this question means you'll be able to find out more about the role, and the interviewer's response will give you more of an insight into the type of skills and experience that are needed. It will also help you decide if a role really is for you, as you'll get to find out more about the employer's expectations. One of my absolute favorite questions to ask is, what do you like about working here? This will give you an insight into the company culture and the working environment too. And I also think this question is a good icebreaker because depending on how the interviewer responds, you'll get to see a little bit of their personality, and it's just a very personal question as well. So they'll open up more, and the conversation or the interview from here on out will be quite relaxed, and you'll notice that there'll be a shift in the way that the interviewer behaves towards you. If you're interviewing at a small company or a startup, then a really good question to ask is, where do you see this company in 5 years, and what impact do you see it having on this particular industry? This response will tell you about the company's progression plans and its place in that particular industry. It may also give you a little bit of insight into what your job security might be like if you were to join the company. So again, this is a really important question to ask if you are interviewing at a small company or a startup. You could also decide to ask some technical questions as well if you're being interviewed by engineers. One of my go-to questions to ask in every single interview is, what tech stack do your team use? You could also ask, what methods do you use to test your code? Or even, what software development lifecycle methodologies does your team follow? Asking these kind of questions will give you a better idea as to the kind of technologies that you might be working with, and it's also a chance to flex some of your technical knowledge if you didn't beforehand. So we've talked about questions that you should ask. What about questions that you shouldn't ask? Red flag questions. One question you should avoid asking at all costs is, what does the company do? I think this goes without saying, but asking this question shows your lack of interest in the role and also your lack of preparation for the interview, because it's obvious that you didn't spend at least a few minutes researching the company before your interview. So definitely avoid asking any questions that you could easily find the answer to on Google search, but instead focus on asking questions that will really demonstrate that you've done your research. So for example, if you're interviewing for a team that uses specific AI and machine learning technologies, and if you don't understand it, it's a good idea to say, I'm aware that your team uses X and Y technologies, but I'm unsure of how it will work and how it might affect your business. Asking this question will show that you've done your research about the team and that you're inquisitive about how the team works. Hey guys, this is a message from future Temi, and by future Temi, I mean the Temi that is currently editing this video. I just wanted to quickly say that it is perfectly okay to not understand what a company does. I did have a situation a long time ago when I was interviewing for quite a big company where I just didn't understand what they did. They worked with a lot of complicated AI and machine learning tech.
And even after reading the job spec several times, I still didn't get it. So what I did is I did exactly what I just demonstrated now, where I said, okay, I'm aware your company uses X, Y, and Z technologies, but I'm not sure what impact it has. Like, what do you actually do with it? And in that case, that's fine because I'm saying that I know what the company does, but I'm just not sure the implications that it uses. So I just wanted to quickly say that it's okay to not understand what they do because they might be doing some really revolutionary, like difficult stuff. Try and word your question in a way that it still shows that you've done your research, just so that you look good. Anyways, that's all from me. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Another question you should avoid asking is, can I move into other areas of the business? This isn't the best question to ask because it might come off to your interviewers that you're not interested in the role. Even if you see the role that you're applying for as a stepping stone role, which is fine, don't tell your interviewer that. If that is your plan, then just keep it quiet for now, and when you get into the company and you're settled in your role, start thinking about how you can move to the role that you actually want. So I hope this video gave you some insight into why you should ask questions during your interview and the kind of questions you should be asking. If you found this video useful and learned something from it, please do like and subscribe to see more content from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!